Hey everyone, this is Pete from Seattle. We have Cody, Eric, and Jim with us. Today, Eric is going to be on the hot seat. He'll be calling Cody first, then Jim. The importance of today is just being able to handle the very different types of calls you can get from one to the other, and making sure you're figuring out what the real problem is and what the real want is. So, and that's my wife in the background. So, Eric, go ahead and give Cody a call, please.
All right. Whoops. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Cody?
Yeah, who's this?
This is Eric Hegg with Hatch Realty. I saw that you're looking at some homes on our website. Just want to check in and see if you're just curious or if you're maybe thinking about making a move soon.
Oh, hell yeah. Full steam ahead, man. I want to get moving. I want to do stuff. Let's chat. Let's converse. What's going on?
Not much. Why are you looking to move, Cody?
I've been renting out this little place kind of near where I work and want to make the new move. Just got a big promotion, and so I'm really excited about that, and want to kind of take that next step. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Have you talked to any realtors about helping you find a place?
I have not. I just, I go through like around the West Fargo area, go in for groceries, come in from out of town, and I just really like, I see you guys sign up all the time. Hear you guys on the radio, So I was like, hey, I gotta call the Hatch man. You know what I mean? I gotta call the Hatch boys.
Yeah. So you said you come in from out of town, or do you commute to work right now, or do you work in
Yeah,
Fargo?
it's not too far out of West Fargo. It's about 25 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, what do you do for a living, Cody? Where do you work?
So I work out an alpaca farm. I I used to just kind of work around with the alpacas. I actually got a big promotion. I'm now the main stylist for all the alpacas. So I do all their haircuts. I give them the conditioning treatments, root treatments, all of that. So.
Oh wow, that's a very unique job. I've never talked to anyone who worked on an alpaca farm before.
Yeah, man, it's a good time. Gotta keep
Yeah,
them looking fresh to death. You know what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah.
Literally to
So
death. We skin them.
don't you just shear them and then let it grow back, or do you skin the hide too?
I, I haven't been in the industry long, Eric. Maybe I've been doing this wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, shearing season this spring will be pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
what I meant to say is we shear them. We shear them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Um, yeah. So you're renting now. Is that right?
Yeah. I rent a small little place off of off of my employer's main house. He's got a little guest house. I've been renting that out for a while.
Okay, gotcha. Have you talked to a bank or a mortgage place about seeing getting a loan in place or anything?
I have not, to be completely honest with you, Eric. I don't even know where to start here, man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely probably the first place you want to start is talking to a bank or a mortgage broker just to get the financing in place.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Do you have a bank that you do most of your work with or most of your banking with?
Not really. I've been with Wells Fargo for a while. Never did anything outside of casual banking there. Most of the
Yeah.
time, I just use the ATM and their online services. I don't really interact, so I wouldn't say I've got like a relationship with them, but
Okay. Yeah. Do you know what your credit score is? Do you have any credit? You have solid
I
credit?
my last time I checked, I was sitting just above the 700.
Okay.
I don't have a very long credit history. Didn't have a credit card for most of my life, but found myself finding it a little more necessary in the last couple of years. So
Yeah.
a couple
Okay.
bigger purchases and
Yeah. How long have you been working at the alpaca farm? Have you been there a couple years or?
yeah, I've been there for about 8 years.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. And what are you paying for rent right now at your employer's guest house?
Honestly, he's just kind of been keeping it super cheap. I pay like $300 a month, just because he's just happy to have somebody in that place. It's close to work. It's kind of convenient for both of us. He's making a little bit of money. He's not charging me a lot. Keeps me close to work. If there's any sort of emergency call, or anything like that, I can be over there pretty quick. So
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. And is there like a price range that you want your monthly payments to be around for your home?
I don't even know, man. Like, I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
What do you think's reasonable?
Depends on what you're looking for. What are you looking for as far as size and number of bathrooms and bedrooms?
I've been pretty content with the size I've got now. Just got this little 2-bedroom place.
Okay.
It's not much, but it'd be nice to kind of move up. Maybe thinking about getting a dog. So a yard space would be nice. Maybe some space in the garage would be kind of cool. Don't really have a garage right now.
All right, we'll stop it there. Thanks, guys. Eric, what do you think you did, good or bad?
It was a high I. I think he answered not as an I, so I felt like he changed a little bit, maybe a little higher D that he answered, but unique situation working at an alpaca farm. So I don't know. It's sounds like something that I would probably try to coach him through the whole pre-approval process and get him talking to a bank. I don't know. I was digging into a little more on the employment, how much he's paying for rent, because I don't know if I would book this appointment just yet. I mean, he says his credit is in the 700s, which is great, but I don't know what other debt he has as far as like debt to income ratio. I don't know how much he's making as an alpaca hairstylist, who apparently kills his alpacas every spring instead of shearing them. So there's some more stuff that I need to dig into here, I think. But I thought the conversation was going pretty well. It was pretty easy with a high I.
Okay. Cody, what do you think?
Yeah, if there are any alpaca farmers watching this, I don't mean to cast a negative light on your industry. I don't know why my brain went to tanning and hiding them, but I think it was good. I have trouble sometimes playing an I. I have to really force it out. But one of the things that I noticed, and this was a big one that Pete put in the role, was that you didn't ask if I was the only one making the move. I would have had a girlfriend who would be making that move with me. But otherwise, no, it was good.
Okay. So overall, good. The two big things that you didn't ask is, who else he's moving with, and you didn't ask a timeline at all. So the timeline was going to be within 3 months. And he said multiple times that, he had no clue really what he was doing. And I think you were, even though you would have had a longer conversation, you seem to be digging into more of the pre-approval and kind of technical side of actually buying the house, as opposed to just, it took you almost the whole amount of time to ask him what it is he was looking for. I would have been trying to build the relationship a little bit more before trying to go in for that. Just because you were kind of jumping the gun a little bit because he was so easy to talk to, I thought. But I no doubt you would have finished it up.
And to build on that, I think you kind of missed a pretty big opportunity right at the start, Eric, where you could have started to form that relationship. But he's like, "Yeah, I just got a really big promotion. I'm really excited about it." So your energy was pretty much the same the whole point through that thing. It was a lot lower energy than I think when you're working with an I, it probably should have been. And he said, "Hey, I just got a big promotion." And instead of saying like, "Oh my gosh, what do you do? Where'd you get a promotion as? Congratulations." You're like, "So you're working with an agent?" And it came back to it later on. So I would have brought the energy up a little bit since he was a little bit higher I. And he did say multiple times, like, "I don't know where to start." And I maybe would have just dug down more on that emotion, like, "Oh my gosh, I mean, that's got to be a little bit scary. I mean, so tell me a little bit about that," or something like that, So other than that, I think it was good. You were going through the paces and everything else, so just would have brought the eye up a little bit.
All right, perfect. Eric, give Jim a call.
All right. Just wondering where the hell Pete's going. He just ran away. All right. Ring ring,
Oh,
Jim.
Yeah.
This is Eric Haig with Hatch Realty. I saw that you were looking at some homes on our website. Just wanted to check in and see if you're just curious or if you're maybe thinking about moving in the future.
no, I was just looking at prices in that North Fargo neighborhood.
Okay. Well, why is that?
I just want to see what houses are for sale. You know, what the price at up there.
Yeah. Yeah. What's got you checking out pricing?
Well, my mom had passed away last month, so me and my two brothers need to sell the place.
Oh, wow. Okay. Um, how are you doing with that?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty emotional, man. Yeah, she's been sick for a long time, so it's probably better this way, but I mean it still sucks.
Yeah. And yeah, that. Sorry to hear about that. Um, what can I do to help with that, Jim?
Well, I mean we will need to settle the estate. I mean I'm the executor, but my two brothers want to chime in too, and I'm the youngest, but I'm the executor, and they always have an opinion. So I'm sure it'll be a fight. It's gonna be fun, you know.
Okay. Are they here in Fargo or are you in Fargo?
Yeah, I know. I live in Fargo here.
Okay.
So
And
I mean, one and you know they live outside the area, but we're all from this area, so we know people here. And so one of my brothers has a friend who's a realtor, but I don't really want to use them, to be
okay.
honest.
Why is that?
It just seems like it's something that's part time.
Okay.
I mean, I looked at their social media presence. I looked at their Zillow reviews, and it just seemed like they're doing one or two houses a year, which I want someone that's an expert and does quite a few and knows what they're doing. I expect people to know what they're doing. I don't want to really settle in a state with hundreds of thousands of dollars with someone that does this an hour a week. So
Mhm. That makes sense. What else are you looking for in a realtor?
well, I mean, there's three of us, so I need to have good communication.
Okay.
I want to know what's going on. I mean, they live outside the area, so just sending out an email or something once a week and letting us know how many people were through it, or some sort of analytics would be good.
Okay. And what's your time frame looking like, Jim? When are you hoping to do this by?
I know talking with them, they're going to be up here for the next 2 weeks and want to make a decision and get it listed. So yeah.
Okay. Um, and did you talk to your brother's friend at all about, what you might be able to list the home for or?
I haven't yet. I'm sure I'll be forced to, but I'm gonna push that off as long as possible.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted to check prices out, and I had looked, on Zillow and saw your guys' reviews, and came over to your website and figured I'd start there. So
Okay. Um, yeah, so that's quite a bit. Tell me about the house, Jim. How big is it as far as like bedrooms, bathrooms?
So it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's up in North Fargo over on 3rd Street.
Okay.
And there's a 2-stall and a 1-stall detached garage in the back on the alley.
Gotcha.
There's another room in the basement, but there's no egress in it, so I don't know if we can count that or not. It's like a 1950 Rambler. It's pretty decent size. I think it's like 1,400 on the main, 1,400 in the basement.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty dated.
How long did you? Oh, go ahead.
It's got hardwood floors on the main floor, and then downstairs it's kind of like a crappy carpet with pretty crappy pad. So
Okay. Gotcha. Is How long did they live there, Jim?
Well, mom had lived there for the last 25 years, basically.
Okay. And any major updates to the home during that time?
The bathrooms are remodeled, so they were remodeled about 4 years ago,
Okay.
and then the kitchen's remodeled about 10 years ago.
Okay. All right. What questions do you have for me, Jim?
Well, I think we need to know what the process is. I mean, I've sold a couple of houses in the past, but not as an estate.
Mm-hmm.
And also just, what's it worth? How long does it take to sell? How do we split things up with probate and everything else? How we do that. Really just what you guys do. I mean, what can you do for us?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've definitely seen this quite a bit, Jim, as far as the probate situation, settling an estate. And, one thing that we've done for a lot of other people in this situation is have a meet with one of our listing agents and just come up with that game plan on getting the home sold and all that. Is that something that you think you and your brothers want to do in the next couple weeks while they're still in town?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I just need to check their schedules and stuff.
Okay.
And then also, I mean, kind of walk me through the process there. I mean,
Yeah,
how would that work?
So we'd send our listing partner out to the home and walk through it. She'd take some notes. She might take some pictures. It'd just be for her personal notes, not for marketing at all. And she would bring that back here and bring all that data back here, and her and Mark would run comparatives on it, so come up with a good price range that you could list it at, and then probably like to have you and your brother sit down with Mark and just talk about what we would do to get your home sold, and a price range that you would want to put it on the market at. Then after that, if you choose to go with us, we'd send out our professional photographer, take pictures, and then we can go active within a day or two.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Good to know.
Jim, what did you do good or bad?
What's up?
What did you do good or bad?
Much better job at mirroring a match this time. Two things that I wrote down. One was sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I said it,
I saw your face. You're like, crap. And then the other thing that I saw was they. You assumed they.
Oh yeah. How long did they live there? Yep.
Yeah. So in this case, it was just mom.
Yep.
Speaking of, I don't want you to die, mom. So please don't. Talking about your mom and death is weird. Like, yeah, just to put that out there. But yeah, no, I thought you did good.
Eric, what do you think?
I always hate doing the role play on these conversations. So I can't remember. So I called a divorce situation, and I was pretty honest with them last time, and I was like, I never really know how to respond to that because there's so many emotions involved. How are you doing? And I think they're like, okay, yeah, and they were like, she really opened up about it. And so maybe that's something I'll try doing if someone is selling a parent's home or something. Just be like, I don't know. I feel like there's like no appropriate way to other than just, how are you doing? Yeah, the whole feeling sorry thing always feels empathetic because I don't know if like it comes off as genuine or authentic, but complicated situations. I thought I did all right. I felt like going into the home details was a little wrong. Maybe I should have talked to him a little bit more about the emotion. I always have to rein that in with kind of the high D personality. I always want to jump to the details. Are they working with an agent? What's their timeline? Looking for those concrete facts when I really need to work on staying away from them because emotions are what drives people to action. So that's how I felt. I was focused too much on the detail and not enough on the emotion. I shy away from the emotional aspect.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think overall you did good, especially as Jim said, the mirroring and matching. Cody going from Cody's call to this one was a 180, right? And I thought you did a very good job mirroring and matching. Good job asking what you can do to help, right? Because that's really what he's needing in this situation. And good job asking what he's looking for in an agent. A couple of things I think you could have done a little bit better is when he asked you about the process the first time, you glossed over it and just said all that stuff, and he had to ask you again to kind of go into it a little bit more. So he's wanting to know the process, right? Because he's the executor and he has two other brothers. Also, you didn't get a lot of information about the other agent that the brother wants to use. You know that he's part-time. But anything, as we discussed on yesterday's call, the more information you can give our realtors, the better. So trying to figure out why, what this guy is going to bring to the table, that Mark, Rob, or Natalie can talk to and speak to about how we are going to do it better, would allow them to have a better chance of closing that meeting. And then I'll just kind of ask this to Jim and to both of you guys. When in a multiple agent situation, I know different agents have different feelings on it. I think the overall consensus is that we would prefer to be the last agent to meet with them if they're looking at multiple people, because then we can go above and beyond and show how much better we are than these other people we spoke to. But trying to figure out a timeline of, okay, when are you guys going to meet with this guy? And then let's set up a meeting so we can discuss things with you as well. Jim, do you have anything on a multiple agent situation as far as when you think it's good to try to meet with them or not?
Yeah, I mean, each agent's different. So I think just my philosophy is always this. If you can book it, book it. The last thing you're going to want to do is, well, why don't you meet with this agent first, and then I'll call you back and we'll set it up. Like, no, if you can book it, just book it.
Yeah.
I mean, in this case, he had called him. He didn't want to call him. I would have just booked it, which you did, which you're doing fine. So, Cody, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Every time I've had this situation, I've got them on the phone right then and there. That doesn't necessarily mean that, so for the ones that I've ran into, a lot of times they're not necessarily going to contract with us right up, like immediately away. But I think that the care that we show and the amount of service that we bring right off the bat, and you're not even a contract client, makes a huge difference. And I've found that I've never lost one. If I've had the opportunity to talk to them up front, I've never lost one yet. It's not saying it's not going to happen, but I mean, 9 times out of 10, we got them on the phone, we can knock it out of the park right away. So,
yeah. So let me clarify. Definitely don't put off the meeting, but figuring out the timeline of when they are meeting with these other folks is what I meant, in that you can be giving that information to our agent so they know if they're the last ones meeting them, the first ones meeting them, because they might handle the meeting a little bit differently and do follow-up. So overall, good job, Eric. Thank you, Cody and Jim, for role playing. One just kind of important thing that I wanted to point out overall, Eric has a very good opener, and this is something that all of us work on. We definitely don't like scripts, but there are certain things that you say every time, and pretty much what he says is what all of us say, is that, are you curious or thinking about making a move? It allows them, if they say they're just curious, it's very easy to follow that up with, well, why are you curious? And then they'll usually go deeper into it. But it's better to ask those types of questions than, hey, saw you were online. Do you have any questions? Which is what I sometimes will revert back to and got yelled at this weekend when I was calling in front of people. So overall, thank you guys. That's all I got for Leads Geeks. We will see you next time and have a great weekend.